Islam, Islam, Islamism. Praise Allah. Honors to the Prophet Noble Ali. Honors to the members in all stations of the Moorish Science of America. Honors to Brother Marcus Messiah Garvey Bay. Honors to the members, past leaders of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Honors to all parent, mothers, and fathers who have paved the way for their children to be Moorish Americans, whether it be information that's been handed down to by the ancestors, or is this a calling? Today, we have to pull ourselves together because the common people are trapped. And that's the name of today's show, is Trapped. Some people say that you cannot find your way out of a situation. You cannot, denounce your citizenship here in America with the United States Corporation because it's two separate entities. Some people say just deal with it, just pay your taxes and be a good slave boy, slave girl, slave woman, slave man. You're going to be all right. But there's always a hidden agenda behind closed doors. And that hidden agenda is that Israel has no connection to America's soil because it was an entity that was created in 1945. So anything after 1945 kind of like makes you wonder. And the only reason why the common people lose sight of what's really going on behind the scenes, instead of taking their hard-earned money and investing into something that's going to grow into passing down information and knowledge and wisdom and understanding to the youth. This is the only way the youth is going to grow. And as Nas said, if the truth is told, the youth can grow. If the truth is told, the youth can grow. You can learn to survive and gain control. Nobody said you have to be gangsters, hoes. Read more, learn more, change the globe. Ghetto children, do your thing. Hold your head up, man, you're a king. Y'all princess, when you get your ring, you get to say, she's my queen. I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, I'll be where I want to be. Every time I listen to that song by Nas, there's no other rapper in the industry can touch that. Eminem can't touch it. None of these Beastie Boys, no Vanilla Ice can touch that, because now we're elevating the thoughts that's being recorded to build our state of mind to a higher level without doubt or contradiction. And we have to understand that modern society is not going to benefit the youth, nor is going to benefit the elderly. I just saw something that tripped me out in Germany, in Europe, where they got these robots that are have gender and they have feelings. And I'm like, are you serious? You don't want to be a man. You don't want to be with a man. You don't want to be with a woman. You don't want to be with an animal, but you prefer a robot? Okay, you know what? That's your thing. That's what you want to do. So be it. Hey, I'm not here to criticize what you like, but me personally, I'm the type of person that love to reproduce myself. And as far as reproducing myself with a robot, a man, pedophilia, that ain't right with me. Animals, zoology, all this tree hugging type of stuff is insane. People need to understand that the earth recognizes the chosen ones, the spirits thereof, the good spirits that are embodied in the carnal, in the flesh. And once we can understand that, you will see throughout these movies that how ones can bring their modern guns and blow up bombs, grenades, and all this other stuff into the wilderness, into the jungle, so to speak. But like I said, everything in the jungle recognize spirits. If you was to have a hole full of guns and artillery, you're not going to last long in that jungle. You're not going to last long in the wilderness. Because nature knows who has the spirit of Allah and knows who has the spirit of the devil. Now, these ones can sit here and say they got guns, they can shoot and all this other stuff. Your guns is not going to protect you because those are like water gun toys. And I'm going to explain something to you about combat. Something that I'm familiar with long before I reincarnated back on this earthling. Swords or scimitars are more easy to use. There's a quote that I'm going to use in the quote of the day whenever I get around to that. Guns have bullets. Swords don't. You can shoot all you want and waste all the ammunition. But if you're not keen and in tune with nature, you're not going to win. They say, it's a saying, you can't bring a gun to a sword fight or a knife fight or whatever they say. Not true. Because the majority of these people are not military. Majority of the common people are not military. There's only a certain amount who know infantry. And they can shoot. And a lot of them are your Ku Klux Klan. A lot of them are your Nazis. A lot of them are your Secret Service. A lot of them are your FBI, CIA. Now, how many is it of them versus the common people who just usually just go to the gun range and just shoot? And this is where people, the common people who are misguided and misled, and I'm not speaking upon anyone who has this type of thinking of gangbangism or gangster lifestyle, mafia lifestyle. Do you know that you can get touched at any given time? The only one who is saving you is Diablo, Shaitan, Satan. Because they say, well, why do the wicked get away with so much? Well, because the wicked is in this world is in the hands of the wicked. So it says in the scripture. So if you understand that will stop you questioning from things. So now that means okay, if someone wants to try to challenge my family and I have to be the one to use my hand-to-hand combat skills and disable this gun from this one or whatever, or I have to shoot some of their kneecaps so that way it can get disabled. if I have to do whatever I can by any means necessary to protect my family at all costs without using a gun. There's things called knives, swords, crossbows. You know what I'm saying? There's other things you can use in a time of combat. But now it's all up to your thinking. And I'm here to tell you that I am truly reincarnated. I'm a true reincarnated Moorish Muslim, Asiatic. The image you see right there on my YouTube channel, that's actually me. That was me during that time. Mind never forgets, just like elephants don't forget. The same person I was during that time, very highly skilled, very highly intelligent, and lost a lot of brothers who were dear to me who turned their back on us during the time of combat. We have to keep our mind focused on the reality of things and not what we're being dictated by telling your vision. Stitch lover, Islam, Stitch lovers. Peace and blessings, heaven high. I see you. I recognize you. Praise Allah for you. We have to not be misguided by media. We cannot be misguided by what we hear or see. We have to lean upon our own understanding of the God Allah within us, which is our higher self, to walk by faith but not by sight. These are the things that we have to really sit back and take into consideration. There's a time for everything. There's a time to heal. There's a time to kill. There's a time and place for everything. And not everything evolves around one thing. For those people who don't think, a wrestler will never tell you that he's a wrestler depending on how he handles himself when he's angered. A warrior will never tell a person who's warrior because he doesn't run off at the mouth and talking so much. A teacher knows when to be silent, but the student knows when to talk too much. This teacher will always be a student because that's your occupation of where you started from. That's your foundation. You cannot say, oh, I've made it, but you cannot say, I refuse to look at my struggles of my foundation and the things I had to go through to learn how to do this, learn how to be articulate, learn how to use my words when I speak. But I have to go out there and uplift the fallen humanity regardless of who is down in the dumps. Regardless of who say the mind is trash can or who is on that low vibration. If you go tell your brother who you just met and you give him some information to uplift him, to heal his mental and physical condition, that is a sign of, in the Ten Commandments, loving thy neighbor as you love thyself. That's a sign of wanting for your brother as you want for yourself. And this goes for the sisters too, but you know, we got sisters out there who are our daughter Ruth Moabitess who are uplifting without doubt or contradiction. Yeah, I did 14 minutes ago, Stitch lovers, I did start. Good question. Praise Allah. But we have to be very mindful of how we interact with people and what information we give. Because the information we can give can not only do some good, but can also do some harm. And the ones that it does some harm to, it's like a luminous act of you casting your pearls to swine. You cannot think on a beastly level if you're going to conquer these ones. The only way you're going to conquer these ones is being just. I meet you in peace. I love you in peace. I will leave you in peace. Islam. When you get your mind right, and whenever you get your circumstances and situations straight, then you can come talk to me. Because right now, this verbal abuse and this slander and this defamation of character and calling me black, light-skinned black, Negro, colored, Afro-American, African-American, I'm holding my ears in. I'm not hearing this because this is deaf to me. This is deaf to me or deaf to me. So why would I respond to your negativity if you're not here to uplift me? That means you're not wanting for me as I want for you. I'm on a higher vibration than you are because your thinking is on a low vibration. So you can't mix positivity and negativity together. That's like what I've said, the same example of putting a positive jumper cable on a negative terminal and a negative terminal on a positive terminal. Negative terminal on a positive, and what it's going to end up doing, it's going to cause a spark. It's going to cause fire. This is why angels don't kick it with demons, devils. They can't be amongst each other because it's going to be combat war. Not until Allah say so. But you are the same angel as well as the same devil because you have these two vibrations like scales. One's positive, one's negative. One's positive representing the alkaline and one is acid. One is basic, one is acid. One's positive, one's negative. One's left, one's right. Everything we are operating now is under spirituality of duality of positive and negativity. Because without the one, you can't have the other. And without the other, you can't have that one. So that means life has to have a balance. Without balance, everything is going to be boring. So don't try to sit here and say, oh, here go the sister. Here she come. Here she come right now. Oh my God. I can't stand no man with no drama. Because he got to know how to take care of me. He got to go get my nails and my feet done. I got to make sure I get my hair done. Make sure I have the utmost Indian hair in my hair. I got to have the Louis Vuitton. I got to have the Chanel. I got to have the perfume. I got to have all this stuff. And he got to provide for me. He got to take care of me like I'm Beyonce or something. What? Sister, what are you talking about? Shoot. The only way I'm going to twerk for him is he got to do something for me first. Whoa. Sound like you gold digging, sister. Wow. I already know where your mind... Now, there you go, disrespecting me. Now you was all thirsty for me and all of that. Now you don't want me anymore. Yeah, because you Jezebel, straight up. What's your problem? I just need love. No, you're lusting. You think you need love, but you're thinking on a carnal perspective. You're not thinking about what you could do for him to help keep him balanced when he was dealing with drama and the cares of the world. But see, it ain't about all that though. He's supposed to have his shit together. What about you having your stuff together? What about you having your mind stay together? What do you have to offer this man? Besides twerking and giving your number to every man you see. Being a harlot, a Jezebel. Do you know how to cook? Yeah, all I gotta do is just go to McDonald's and get him a burger, some fries, and he'll be okay. Oh, wow, really? Wow. Okay, so that scratched that off the list. You can't cook. The bathroom's dirty. I go to your mama's house She can't clean. The fruit is not too far from the root. So that means you're an exact replica of your mother. So now all of a sudden now you just incompetent. You're just mentally demented. Or should I say mentally impaired. Because you don't know how to do nothing but all it is about a selfish demonstration. And if no one honors you, then you're going to kill them on sight. And you a straight Jezebel. You ain't no daughter Ruth Moabitess. You're just like a wolf in sheep's clothing, yo. Now be gone. Oh, here we go. Throwing shade on my fame. Okay, whatever. Peace out. Deuces. But I'm just letting y'all know that's what majority of the brothers out there who are straight go through that. If the husband who wants to be a husband and has his mind made up that he wants to be a husband, he gotta have someone who can meet him all the way, just like he meet her all the way. And this is where people get trapped. Number one, birth certificate. Two, fictitious society. Three, you always got to pay taxes depending on where you go. Because there's certain places won't allow you to pay taxes, such as Lamar Park. You go over there, you buy stuff, you know what I mean? And they don't charge you taxes. Praise Allah for that. I'd rather go there and purchase from a merchant. That's how I roll. But what entraps the people is this European hypnosis of watching what you see on TV, and all of a sudden, now you're captivated. Did you know when you watch TV, you're so captivated by what you see to the point where you cannot hear anything that's going on in the next room? You can't even tell if your mom is coming in your room because you're so glued on the TV, because they already captivated your mind. That's number one. Number two, your eyes, your hearing, everything, all your sensors are more captivated on what's going on the TV instead of reality. But hey, it is what it is. You walk down the street, you know, you mind your business, you ain't got no criminal charge, you walking around as a so-called black man, and all of a sudden now, you get hemmed up by the police. The police say you are identified as such and such, and guess what? You get locked up, you get 25 to life, and no matter what you try to do to try to get out, they already made you state property. Oh, I'm sorry, your mother and father already made you state property because you're a victim of the state at birth. Number two, the United States government corporation, the democracy, owns you, and there's no way out. Then if you have children, your children going into foster care, and you have no say so whatsoever because they all got a birth certificate. Your young people, and this is all that who applies to, are so captivated by having guns and fighting and causing hysteria and all this other stuff. It's because this is what social media has to offer. It offers hypnosis. This is why ones can't survive. This is why ones can't function. Because number one, they're eating the wrong foods. Yo, I seen this youngster getting up early in the AM. You know, dressed all cool and everything, you know what I'm saying? Guess what he eating for breakfast? Chips. Potato chips. Drinking soda. Yeah, by the time that child reaches 27 years old, he gonna end up on dialysis, yo. Poor dieting. And speaking of poor dieting, this is what society has to offer. Every time you see chips and drink in the store, that's the cheapest thing you can get. But anything healthy, whoa, that's too much. So you gotta sell for what you can get. But instead of going to the store, going and buying you a banana, the banana got you a potassium, you know what I'm saying? Some watermelon, you know what I'm saying, to keep you hydrated almost through the day. You're gonna be healthy. You're gonna be all right. But you know what? Chips, drink, sandwich. Where's the nutritional value? How is that going to help you be stronger and live longer when all you're doing is when you put junk food in your body, it makes you look older, number one. Number two, you age even faster because this food has no nutritional value. I can't call it what it is, but it is what it is. When are the young mothers and fathers are going to stop being promiscuous? When are the brothers and sisters going to listen to the people who won't tell them the right thing to do? Gangbanging ain't it, because guess what? You know where gangbanging leads you. Buried 6 feet deep, that's number one. 2, paralyzed. 3, bedridden. And 4, brain damaged. You're already brain damaged when you start gangbanging. But now, there's nothing your homies could do for you. When you get paralyzed, they can't nurse you back to health because they don't know nothing. Hold on, family. Hey, Stitch, what's going on? What's going on? You say you miss your pops. What's going on? Talk to me in the chat. I'm going to put this little live on hold for a moment. What's going on, Stitch? And yes, to answer your question, yeah, I was talking to someone, but Stitch, what's going on? Why you have a low vibration? What's bothering you? I can sense it. It's obvious. Stitch, what's good? What's bothering you? More live. What's wrong with your pops? Is he living? Is he sick? What's good? Well, all I can say is this, Stitch. The only thing you can do is do the best you can to reach out to your pops. Go visit your pops. Talk to your pops. Let your pops know what's on your mind. And whatever lessons, still, I understand. Yes, I know. But whatever you got to do to reach out to your pops, to write him a letter or something. Wherever he is, write him a letter. I'm not going to broadcast your business and repeat what you said, Stitch, because I feel like this is some information that probably more likely the viewers can see. But while I'm live, I'm not going to broadcast your business like that. Whatever your pops, whatever the circumstances, situations is, learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Learn from it. The time that you had with your pops, take those moments and embrace those moments to make you a better person. I'm going to be honest with you. There's certain days that don't go by where I don't think about my loved ones, family members. You know what I mean? And sometimes we gotta, whether we know them or met them or not, whether we heard stories about them, we gotta know that we gotta be strong for them. We gotta be the one to make better decisions because our grandmothers, grandfathers, ancestors, did the best they could. But now it's a time for you to change and use this anger and frustration as fuel to wanting to do better for yourself. And when you have going through what you're going through, of course it's normal to feel what you feel. But you got to turn that situation into something positive and do something positive to reach out to your pops. That's what you got to do. And everything that's going on with your pops right now, and I pray that it's not that bad wherever he may be, right? But all is well ends well. So the thing is, and I'm gonna give shout outs to the people who have been incarcerated and who've been in for the time they did not commit. And I pray that Allah gives them the proper antidote, the solution to the problem to fight the case and be able to succeed. Because being locked up, gee whiz, you ain't gotta tell me. I ain't gonna speak on it, but that's just not the spot. Being locked up in jail and prison is like being a prisoner of war. They tell you what you cannot do. Child time this time. Go on the yard this time. It sounds like you're in grade school or something. But I would recommend anybody going to jail. I would recommend anybody getting shot. It's nothing to brag about, And always remember, whoever has been going through whatever, and I remember talking to my uncle about this. He told me some things that he said that he wished he had done, and you know what I'm saying, and he's actually humble. But sit back and learning and watching my elders. Everything in life now as an adult I never understood as a child, but it all makes sense. Stitch, I need you to do me a favor. I'm going to ask you this question. And I know you hear me. Am I saying something to help you ease the situation of this specific trials and tribulations you're going through? Praise Allah. The answer is yes. Okay. See, me, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people don't understand that certain circumstances and situations you may be going through right now has existed in the past. And the only way you do not tap into certain things that has happened in the past is to condition and constantly train your thinking that those are things that happened in the past, but yet it's still manifesting itself to a certain degree. I'm going to give you one example. And this is really what I go through. I understand my grandmothers. I understand my grandfathers. I do. 100%. To the point where why they made the move they did. Now, the question is, since my grandmothers and grandfathers moved from their location, relocated to something to have a better life, now the question is, why would I go back to where they used to live at, just to live, just because it's cheap rent or whatever? And they left their home for a reason, to have a better life elsewhere. So that tells me during that time that I have to not only look at the condition at that time and to be able to understand segregation and violation of human rights amongst my grandmothers and grandfathers and the people around in that area, so to speak, and looking at the history of it and accepting it for what it is, but also not use modern words that relates to what has happened in the past. You see what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying to you all is this. I will never again say a brother, and this brother could be Caucasian, European, so-called white. He can be a brother to me, like real close, tight, right? No issues. It's all good. Or so-called Negro, Black, Color, Latino, Chicano, Hispanic, Islander, wherever they're from. And shout out to my brother man Van Tu from Cambodia, Islam. Shout out to my peoples, my loved one from Tonga, Samoa, North Central South America, Peru, etc. Belize, Jamaica. Shout out to my people from all those parts of the world, Islam. Etc. When someone says, "Yo, what's up, my boy?" I have a problem with that. That's what the slaveholder called my mother, my grandmother, grandfather. You know what I'm saying? So, Europeans use, who are bigots, who are part of the Ku Klux Klan, call them boy, girl, Negro, black, colored, nigga, nigger, and wetback, chinks and yellow people. I'm not using those words because, number one, when I call those specific people that's slander and defamation and character, I don't want to say those words to them, but I don't want to say it to me either. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm saying that because those words I just mentioned, I will never use to describe a person. I will never subject people to negative words that they use totally the opposite of uplifting. So now that makes me look like a hypocrite, because I'm not. I'm very hypocritical on certain things. I'm very hypocritical on certain things about myself. Am I a hypocrite to certain things? Yes, I am. Do I contradict myself to certain things? Yes, I do. Because I'm still learning. I may be a sheep of the more scienceable America, but I still go through those lower self vibrations, lower self thinking. I have to constantly repeat myself, drive home using hammer to drive home the truth until it's part of every part. That's what I have to do. Stitch. I would likely do another live probably tomorrow, possibly. Uh, Also, under my description box, there is my Yahoo account for my email. And for all those who love the show or got questions or just need words of upliftment when you're going through your trials and tribulations or whatever, feel free to email me. Moorish. It's like at Moorish Life, but it's different. It's moorish.life at yahoo.com. Moorish.life@yahoo.com. moorish.life@yahoo.com. So when we start understanding conditions in people and places, and we understand that a person's out of character, we can understand that these certain people are either number one being in a Salem asylum or in a psych ward, because it's hard for them to function in society. Because people in their right minds would know the difference between right and wrong. And for all those people out there who say, "Oh, everybody knows the difference between right and wrong," I beg to differ. Because if everybody knew the difference between right and wrong, they would not be doing wrong. They would be doing right. So that automatically, that's a no-go. The problem is that we hear stuff every single day, and it could be lies and deceit. But at the end of the day, the question is, do you really think it through? Do you think about what the person has said? Let me give you an example. I remember I was doing one of the young people I mentored. He happened to have a little dispute with his so-called girlfriend. And I said to him, she told me, "No, go somewhere. No, go somewhere." This is what she told me. This is youngster. I'm an old school brother. You ain't gonna tell me where to go. I'm here to pick him up. You can take him home. Because right now you causing drama. Here comes mom while her daughter's drunk and all this other stuff and so on and so on. Mom says to me and the young man, say, "Oh, when she loves people, she just hurts the people she loves." Did you just hear that? When she loves people, she hurts the people she loves. Okay, where does hurt come from? Is that a high vibration or a low vibration? Now the question is love a high vibration or a low vibration? Now, if you can't answer those questions, we already know that love is a high vibration. Hurt is a low vibration. So how can you mix the two together? Right? How could you mix the two together? Because if you love someone, you're not going to hurt them. You're going to be very mindful of what you say and how you say it. Love does not bring hatred or slander or defamation of character. Now, love will tell you the truth, but you can't accept the truth because your thoughts are in the falsehood. And if your thoughts are in the falsehood, then the truth is going to hurt you because you can't accept the truth. Now, I say this. Well, the truth is all is Allah. Well, truth changes not. Truth is not going to change to your feelings. So if all these things are to be true, now you're going to ask yourself this question. If I'm going to love the person, I rather tell them the truth so that way they can have ease. On the Moorish flag is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. The 5 points represent love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. If the truth hurts, wear it. And wear it till it stops hurting. Because all the truth is going to do is knock out that falsehood and that slander and defamation of character, hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, stuff, and everything that harms and brings ease to the situation so that way you can have a clear state of mind. This is what love does. You may not accept it, but you're gonna think that love won't take you. Boy, that's right. I wasn't in my right mind. I wasn't in my right thinking. I did not accept the truth, and now I accept it for what it is. This goes in everything you do. Relationship with your mother, relationship with your father, relationship with your brother, sister, auntie, uncle, cousins, niece, nephews. Life. And if people really truly say that they love people, just tell them the truth. I accept it. Okay, I stand corrected. I'm wrong. Tell the truth. Shame your devil. Shame your demonic way of thinking. There's only two things in the world: is truth and falsehood. Falsehood is what seems to be. Seems. It's not accurate, but it seems. The truth does not need anything to stand to keep it balanced. It stands on its own. Falsehood needs a crutch of the truth or not to be able to uphold something which will change and pass away. Hajar, Islam, peace of blessings, heaven high. So the things that we have to be very mindful of is, number one, we gotta get out of this hypnosis, European hypnosis way of thinking, the so-called white thinking. Because I never really met anybody who is white. I've never met anybody who is black. And this is the problem. As I said in my previous shows, and I will say it again, when a specific so-called black person says my white friend, you just automatically just forfeited your well-being to satisfy their well-being. You're calling them superior as you call them white, and you're calling yourself inferior. So we have to eliminate that black and white. Not unless you're looking at black and white television, that's a different story. But I don't know about all that. This is what creates chaos and problems, because everything goes back to what I'm saying. It's trapped. We're trapped in a society that don't care about nobody but the people who are in their group. You can be a Mason, you can be an Eastern Star, but if you're not with one of them 13 family bankers and you acting all tough, you part of this gang and you throwing up gang signs like you speaking sign language, you got a problem. You got a problem. There's nothing else you can do with your life by harming other people. Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. What are we doing to uplift each other? And it's not about the shade of skin complexion. It's about the way of thinking and how you treat each other. Me, I got friends from almost all over the world. That's what surprises me. Almost all over the world. And praise Allah for them. But I'll say this. I will never force my views upon anybody. My job is to make sure the views that I have is in the line with Allah. And if Allah wants me to demonstrate love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and say it like this and say it like that, then I'm going to say it like that. I am a true servant of Allah, but I do have some falsehood that I have to work out. I have some inconsistencies that I have to continue to work out. Because without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. So since I'm aware of these things, this is how I know I'm true to Allah. And if I'm true to Allah, that means I'm true to the fellow man, European, so-called white person, or the so-called black person, Latino, Chicano, Hispanic, Islanders, Asians, and so on and so on. But I'm not going to sit here and cast my pearls to swine. I'm not going to endanger my life for a fool. That's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali says. Do not endanger your life for a fool. Praise Allah. Stitch. Are you still there? I'll wait for your response. The information in your mind to help assist other people. I'm not saying take all your money out of your bank account and assist the poor. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is making sure that you yourself is content with your lifestyle. Don't worry about chasing money, because one day, as the Prophet Drew Ali said, one day you're going to see a $20 bill and step right over it. Something like that. We have to be very mindful of our actions, our decisions, making sure that we plot and making sure that we do the right thing. If man who does good for man, he does for Allah. When man harms man, he harms Allah. There it is. See, when people start thinking that they can be abusive to children, Allah's not going to be pleased. So the same hardship that you struck upon these innocent bystanders, innocent children, when it's your time and you eating all the wrong food and you're not being obedient to your Creator, eating all the pig feet, eating all the pork chops, eating a starchy diet that has no nutritional value, oh, you're going to reap what you sow. I know this for a fact. I see it with my own eyes. Was I there when that incompetent person passed away? No, but am I glad he's gone? Yes. When I speak to my beloved offspring, and when I say to my offspring that I wasn't the best father, and I'm doing the best I can, and I can admit when I'm wrong, and I can admit to my offspring that I'm wrong, and I sincerely apologize. I'm not boying down, I'm manning up. So what that's going to do to my offspring is that's going to lift their self-esteem. Instead of having that guiltiness, and wanting to be so distant. So now, as mothers and fathers, sometimes it's just best to go to your children and apologize. And mothers, woman up. Fathers, man up to your children, regardless of how old they are. Woman up and man up. And you talk to them. That way, it can bring balance and ease to the family. There won't be no regrets. You know what I mean? Certain situations may be scarred, but at least they'll be able to say, my mother and father are no longer trapped into their carnal thinking or narcissist ways. That's the only way you can amend you turn your bad deeds and switch it to your good deeds. And when your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds, when you leave this earth, you have nothing to worry about. So says Prophet Number Drawley, honest to Prophet Drawley. And a lot of this stuff, I tend to think on the level that I think because I have grown, I have manned up, I have matured about it. And I will never call someone out their name. I will never disrespect someone. If I have a personal issue with them, I'm going to address it to them. Straight up. I'm not going to raise my voice, I'm just going to talk it out. Now, if push comes to shove and, family's involved, then I do as I must. When love, truth, peace, freedom is violated, when love, truth, peace, and freedom is violated, justice must then take its course. Sid, you still there? Islam? So, we have to be, as the good fathers, good grandmothers, and good grandfathers would say, be on your best behavior. It may speak to you as a child, but it also follows into from your childhood to your adolescence and your adult life. Me, I love to make sure that people are happy. I can't please everybody, but I got love for my peoples. I do wholeheartedly, without doubt or contradiction. So now the question is, have I freed myself as the so-called new black and colored? Yes, I have. Because I'm Brother Moorish life. Because that's what I'm about. I am Moorish and I'm about that life. So what we have to do, family, is sit down and think what our next plan is going to be for the next day. And whatever we did not do that was correct that day, it's time to make a speedy reparation on burying your condition. And think about what you could do better today that you didn't do yesterday. That's what it's truly about, family. Stitch, in a few I want to be in this live, so if you're still there, let me know. Because I have other obligations I need to attend to today. Yep. We all gotta make sure we be held accountable for our actions. Whether it's a generation curse or not. I see it in chat, I got 2 likes. Praise Allah for that. We gotta do the right thing. That's what we have to do. Just make sure that when you assist someone, make sure they're not biting the hand that feeds them. Ungrateful so-and-sos. Male harlots like these children of Herod and these children of Jezebel. Stitch, I'm about to end this live, so if you just want to see if you're still there, but I'm about to end this live soon, so Close this out with the more Shamika prayer. Allah the Father, universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night and by day. Who's my prophet, you Ali. Amen. Islam family, y'all take care, peace and love. Y'all take care.